Oh, God.
What a day.
Yeah, hey, I'm going to get a cider because, fuck, hang on.
You need it?
Yep.
Ooh.
Is that wind?
Jesus. Maybe he moves super fast when he's ciders. It's a fucking flash. Cider. Jesus. Did you just unzip your pants? Keep it on.
Basketball shorts. No zip required.
Minisode.
Watch out! Here it comes. 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 Hold it right there. Attention, folks.
Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year.
I'll let you know at the end of the year if it was happy.
Oh.
You got to go into it with a positive attitude, mate.
Always.
Right.
I'll just take it like Barndon Ingram takes, his approach to the game lately.
Just chilling the fuck out.
Low and lazy?
Just stoned or lazy, either one. Unbelievable.
He's a...
Your October, November, December is going to be shit because his last quarter always sucks.
Zing. We'll get into a little bit later talk later, but I did want to... I don't want to rehash on too much stuff that we missed sort of since the start of the year, but I did want to talk a little bit about Kawhi Leonard's first game back in San Antonio and absolute drumming the Spurs put on the Raptors. Did you guys watch the game?
I watched it.
Vince?
I did not.
What?
You did not.
Should have marked on the calendar.
Listen, I'm very busy on holidays right now.
Very busy doing nothing.
Mate, I've been busy, but when I saw the schedule, I did say chalk it to myself because, I'm alone. Said to myself, Spurs will win this. There's no way they're dropping this to Kawhi.
Yeah.
They were ready. By the score lineup, they were ready.
Oh, man, did Pop have those guys ready to roll? DeRozan in the first quarter, man. Like, he was just everywhere.
Yeah, the game was over after the first, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I was looking at the plus-minus at the end of the first. All the Raptors were, like, basically minus 20 plus. I was like, what is going on in this game? This is ridiculous. I mean, obviously, they got themselves into gear, but it was kind of like just momentum taken out of their... I actually thought Raptors were a little bit intimidated.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. The first quarter was just an absolute drubbing, and it set the tone for the rest of the game. They could never catch up, and I don't know. It looked like it was going to be the marquee matchup of the day, and I'm sure everybody had it circled. And it turned out to be the least impressive game of the entire day. It just, the following three quarters, they were just never in it. None of the runs ever looked convincing enough, and the Spurs just sort of nipped it in the butt every time it looked like they were getting momentum. It was just dominant.
Toronto obviously having a superb year this year. Obviously, the addition of Kawhi is huge for them. But, yes, the Spurs lost a top 5 player in the league, but they still have 2 All-Stars and are still Spurs basketball, and they still have arguably one of the best coaches in the league. So, I mean, as far as motivation for this game, I don't think they could have asked for anything more. And Spurs look fantastic. They look absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I have to double check on the stats as to what their percentage is in the league, but their 3-point shooting is keeping them in games and winning them games. That Bertans he is an absolute weapon. He is honestly I think he's shooting like 50%, isn't he? Like 49 or something percent.
Well, I was going to say it's funny you say that because every time he puts up a shot, it looks like it's dropping. Like just.
Oh. That's what I was just about to say. Like, I'm surprised it's that low. It feels like every time he shoots. And then, of course, they've got Bellinelli. And they're just, I don't know, even even DeRozan's been hitting the occasional, which is odd for his game, obviously. But that's been a big difference maker. I still don't have them making the 8. I still think that other teams are going to improve. Yeah, no, I still think other teams are going to improve.
I was going to bring it up, Stu, because the start of the year, you said that... No, actually, Vince, did you say Spurs weren't making it? I think you might have.
No, I said they were making it.
Yeah, well, they're sitting 6 right now, and look, 8-2 in their last 10 on a 4-game win streak, obviously. I just feel
they
like...
have a lot of home cooking.
Yeah, that's granted, but I just feel like about 6 games ago, they really turned a corner. I feel like they Pop sort of worked out who they've got. I mean, they're doing off the back of injuries as well. So, man, I don't know. They're sure they're gonna hit their slumps, but I still don't think they're not making the playoffs.
Nah,
not happening.
nope.
Oh man, tough one.
I think so. I mean, look, who's still out of the playoff picture? You've got
Utah Jazz, Sacramento Kings.
Utah Jazz have dropped out.
Oh my god, the Sacramento Kings, man! Wow.
Tell you what, they took it to Golden State yesterday, didn't they?
That was such a great game to watch, and I mean, It was just young team. About 3 costly turnovers in the 4th that cost them that game.
Yeah,
like they tightened that, and man, Jesus, they just outrun teams really. Like they remind me kind of like of a young OKC team. You know?
Yeah, they unfortunately they haven't really had a game where both Fox and Hield have been absolutely firing. It tends to be one or the other. They could definitely play together. There's no issue there, but unfortunately for them in these close games, they haven't had games where they've both been really on, because had they have been, I reckon their record's probably 5 games better.
Yeah. Hey, just an early little... I've got a feeling, a little bit of a vibe. They're struggling a little bit to rebound the ball. And a lot of Sacramento Kings fans are sort of questioning Willie Cauley-Stein, which I think is a little bit unfair. I feel like he does a lot. Yeah. But I got a feeling they might make a move for Cantor.
I'd love him there.
I just got the vibe. I just got the vibe of the thing. You know, I feel like it's been reported that New York's been getting quite the interesting Enes Kanter. I just think he'd fit really well there. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in Sacramento somehow.
Okay.
Just a thought. Just a vibe.
Well, after today, I was hoping he'd come to the Lakers, but whatever.
Oh man, we'll get to that in a second, I think.
I'm all for free Cancer. I like that he came out and sort of questioned why he was sitting games, and I thought it was legitimate, his statement. He copped a little bit of flack from it, but then a lot of sports commentators started coming out and backing him. Like, he actually went into this season with the goal of becoming an all-star, and if you look at the East and where he's coming from and the stats that he had been putting out, it's not that crazy a goal. And I don't know, I know that it's a delectable looking draft board that we're looking at, but trade him, get rid of him, let him play somewhere else if he's that keen to play.
Yeah, I mean, there's more merit to Cantor questioning his playing time than what there is Jimmy Butler and his offensive prowess in Philly. But maybe we should save that for another show, because I feel like Vince will explode. Fair call?
I'm close.
Brown did come out and downplay it today, but maybe he's just saving face. I don't know.
Brown's a too nice a guy.
I think they should fire him and hire Thibodeau.
Oh, man. Oh, you guys getting that feedback?
No.
Sound the alarm, Vince.
I thought you preempted that by saying you don't want to talk about it.
Oh, my goodness. Sound the alarm. The courtside alarm is ringing. The sweet bells, the sweet siren. That is, Chandler Parsons and the Grizzlies have agreed to part ways. It's been a long time coming. 3 years in the making. Oh, man, I am so happy today.
Well, you've mojoed it for 3 years, you've willed it for 3 years, and you finally pulled it off.
I did have to sacrifice a small lamb to make it happen, but I feel like it was worth it. I
hope it wasn't Jeremy.
Well, have you seen him in a while?
Oh, my God.
I've been copping a little bit about this, and a lot of people coming out and saying that, it's not Parsons' fault. Yeah, it fucking is. Yeah, it is.
How is it his fault?
It's his
No,
fault.
It's not.
I fucking hate him. I don't care. Look, Vince, let me... All right, look.
Shut up for a moment. I want to fill the millions of listeners in for a moment. Wayne gets into these moods and he would like message me and Benson with these ridiculous comments, and then about 10 lines in he's like, sorry, I'm just in a mood. This is what it is. Because Chandler Parsons
Well,
is in
look.
a mood. He's got a heart on for him, and that is it. He cannot see past his hatred,
No,
and it's
look.
everything's Chandler Parsons'
It
fault.
is not all his fault, but Grizzlies fans are sick of our GM Chris Wallace, and we're sick of Chandler Parsons. So, adios, amigo. Get the fuck out of Dodge.
How are you coping with the other big loss?
What other big loss? Oh, Marshall Brooks.
Yes.
He's son of a bitch.
There goes my weekly segment.
I know.
Yeah.
You're hanging on to that like, I don't know
Got some
what.
good feedback for that segment.
Well, look, I want to talk a little bit about the Chandler Parsons situation. Obviously, he hasn't moved yet, but this is at least a step in the right direction for the franchise. Jesus Christ. Obviously, the frustration with Grizzly fans does lie with our GM, Chris Wallace. And I think this is his best move, and his best move is cleaning up his own mess. Of course, Parsons signed to a 4-year, $94 million deal, which is just ridiculous considering... I mean, I think you can even agree, Vince, that I didn't want this at the start anyway.
Yeah, you didn't want it, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Like...
I think me and Benson thought it was okay. Well, I know I did.
But, I mean, $94 million...
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
I mean, we didn't even get Dallas Chandler Parsons in his 3 years there. So it's just like, what the fuck? I mean, like, he's a reflection of management's decision moving forward. Do you know what I mean? So, like, he does cop a brunt of that. But in saying that, 73 games over 3 years, I mean, you could understand why Grizzlies fans are a bit just fucking over it, right? We paid $94 million for 2 fucking bum knees, really, when you look at it.
Well, he didn't sign going, hey, bonus, I'm going to hurt myself.
Well, fuck, man, I don't know. You never see anything on his Instagram account about him fucking working out.
Hang on. Well, I don't know. So you're sort of implying that he wanted to sign it and then hurt his knees and not play.
Well, look, you can't blame the guy for signing a fucking $94 million deal, knowing that his fucking NBA career is fucking over. I'd
I just
sign
want to
that.
do the math. I want to work out 94 million divided by how many games he played for you guys.
73.
That has got to be insane. Or just on a per minute basis. That's got to be. It's got to be $1 million a minute of court time.
It's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's nearly
He
Benson.
deserved it. He earned it.
And then, fuck. Oh, I nearly swore. I did swear. Wait. I nearly swore again. I'm so mad. Still mad.
I just worked it out. Newsflash, sign the alarm. $1.3 million a game.
That's messed up. That's so messed up. That's so messed up, man.
Oh, man, I'm just proud of him.
But then it's like, you know, he comes out and makes the statement that, you know, he's ready to play, management holding him back. But they offered him G League to get back in. They wanted to see him play both sides of the ball. Like, he refused to play. If you're ready to go, why not play 4 games G League and show and prove?
Well, what's wrong with like giving him 5 minutes a quarter in the NBA?
Because they want to know if his knees are ready, if he's just going to step out the court like he did his first year, season-ending surgery by fucking the summer.
Season injury.
So, yeah, I'm so mad.
Just settle. Listen, calm down, Wayno. Just settle down.
I'm all fired up.
Listen, he's been cleared. He's got his clean bill of health. The doctors have said he's cleared to play.
Right.
They know his knees are fine.
I don't buy that.
I really hope you just don't ever own an NBA team.
I hope he signs with the Lakers. That's what I hope happens.
Couldn't do any worse than B.I.
No.
I'll make that trade right now. But look, do you want to have a guess of his stats while in Memphis? Just while we wrap it up. Obviously, we've gone big.
It's definitely. He did shoot a good percentage from 3 last year. It was like 40%.
What, 2 games? I call that getting lucky.
It's at least 5. The year before that, he shot pretty poorly from memory, but I mean, it was like around 6 or 7 a game, wasn't it?
All right, 7 points a game.
Yeah.
2 rebounds, 1 assist. That's it.
That's fair.
That's
fair.
That's in 3 seasons.
How many minutes?
In what? What were they giving him? Probably 18 minutes a game or something.
Too many. Too fucking many.
But Marshawn Brooks produced that, and you said he was the second coming of Kobe Bryant.
I didn't say that. Fuck you.
Please. Oh, we got Marshawn Brooks? Oh, hello.
I said I liked what we're getting out of him. That's it. That's it. And then you've taken it to a whole new level. That's right. Chicago can fucking deal with him now anyway.
Good luck to Marshawn Brooks. Hope you come out and drop 20 a game.
Oh, now you're a fan. All right.
Just to stick it up, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Either one.
Oh, man. Talk about sticking it up here. Oi.
Oh.
Whoa. Wolves owner certainly did.
Benson, what are we doing?
What is going on?
What's going on?
Well, look, the Wolves owner certainly did that today, don't you feel? How do you get fired after drumming the Lakers for like 20 plus today? Like, seriously, they finally part ways with Coach Thibs.
Don't carry on like that's an achievement.
Well, I'm just saying. Look,
Maybe ownership went, you should have beaten them by 50 because they're terrible. That's not good enough. You're fired.
We'll let him go out on a win. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that's him.
Look, for anyone listening to the show that's new to the show, obviously you realise I'm a Grizzlies fan, and these two guys, Lakers fan, diehard Lakers fans, we do kind of have a soft spot for the Minnesota Timberwolves and our good friend over in Minnesota, Joey, who records the Timberwolves Explosion. So a big shout out to him, of course, courtside approved. Man, I don't know. It felt weird them firing after a win.
Look, I always thought, like everyone else, probably thought that the change was coming at the end of the year and that he probably had to make the playoffs. But since the trade, they're top 10 in offense and defense. So it's not like they weren't playing well. Yes, they lost to teams they should have beaten, but...
They also won games.
Yeah, they had a really good comeback against, I can't remember who it was, but they bet 19 or 20 down. And they came back and won. But it does. It just seems strange. That's why I said on the Timberwolves Explosion Facebook page, maybe Taylor said to him, need you to be the coach or the GM, which one is it? And he's like, I want to do both. And he's like, oh, he's gone. 5-5
in the last 10 on a 2-game win streak now. It's just weird. I mean, they're not that far out of the playoffs. Like they're sitting, what are they, 19 and 21, sitting 11th in the West. And you know what the West is like right now. It's like, you could win your next 3 games and find yourself back in the playoff picture. So I find it very odd. I mean, maybe it all just the Jimmy Butler experience and everything had, just, I don't know. I just find it weird. And you guys know I'm a big Thibs fan. I just think it's silly. I think they would have made the playoffs again this year. I mean, he got him there after 19 years of not making it. And then...
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
Well, there's something he can hang his hat on. I mean, I'm sure he'll get another job somewhere, but it just seems a bit strange to do it now. That's why I think something must have happened after the game.
Yeah, I'm the same. Look, I think most of us thought that it was inevitable, but I thought it would have been probably hinging on the on making the playoffs and or how they performed in the playoffs. Just really, really weird timing. But yeah, something's happened. I think something was either said or maybe, like as Vince suggested, maybe there was just a call, like you got to pick one or the other. They were at loggerheads. Yeah, I don't know. But I just hope it doesn't ruin their flow because, I think the guys that they've got on that roster, are deserving of a playoff spot if they can right the ship. And they'll certainly, as you mentioned, Wayne, 5-5 in the last 10. They're on the way, and the West is wide open. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see who they'll get in. I mean, have any names been floated around? I heard Hoiberg this afternoon.
Well, they've announced that interim coach will be Flip's kid, who was the assistant coach, I think, at the time. So he
What's his name?
I can't remember.
That's Ryan Saunders.
Ryan Saunders, yeah. I mean, I said before that announcement, I can't see any interim coach coming in and them still making the playoffs anyway. I think this breaks all flow. There's a lot of Minnesota Bulls on this team, so it'll be interesting to see what players stick around next year. A lot of question marks behind Derrick Rose now as well, but I'm a Thibs fan, so I'm kind of used to the rotation problems and all that sort of garbage, but I think a lot of Timberwolves fans were just a bit fed up.
I think we lost Benson, did we?
No, I'm here.
Oh, something came up on my screen that you'd left. Anyway, Edit that out, Wayno.
If you're going to keep talking to me like that,
What's that?
I can leave.
Ouch.
Whoa.
What happened? I don't know what happened. What did I miss?
Yeah, look, I did see someone today on social media just have a crack at Glenn Taylor saying, if we don't get rid of him, we're never going to win Jack Shizen. But it's got to agree with that. He's a terrible owner. Just when you think he made the right call hiring Thibs, turns out he stuffs it all up. The sooner he sells this team, the better. But it's got to be so frustrating. I mean, 20 years out of the playoffs, they make it. Things are looking up. And then the whole Jimmy thing, and then this firing. It's just, I don't know, you got to feel for him. Especially guys like Joey who just want that title so bad.
Yeah. Their fan base are the ones that suffer ultimately. I mean, you look at this roster in the West. That is a playoff roster. It is from start to finish. You know, the first 8 guys are definitely capable of getting that team there. So whatever it is, let's just hope for the fans that last year wasn't a one and done, and that they can get themselves back there. Because the product that they're putting out there is deserving of it, and I think the fans certainly are as well.
I'll tell you one thing I'm interested to see over the next month or so is the way Wiggins plays. I think it'll be a major thing if his play picks up.
Blooms, right?
Yeah. I mean, that'll piss me off, but just play hard. That's all we ask. Play hard. Take care. If you like the coach or don't like the coach, just play hard.
Put your jersey on before you leave the locker room, dickhead.
Yeah. I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, look, we obviously chatted throughout the day during that Minnesota-Lakers game. Is there a problem with Ingram on this Lakers squad? I know the answer with you boys. I think kind of 2 things. I think either maybe they just need to give this kid a bit more time. He's definitely shown flashes. Yes, he didn't play great today. It's definitely coming across that this is all effort level, though. But the other thing is, I mean, you guys are missing Rondo, Kuzma, and LeBron.
Yeah. That's got to do with the record over the last 8 games, is the pieces that we're missing, and we'll continue to miss until they're back. But, these guys do have to step up. I mean, we're talking third-year players. Ingram, his decision-making and his one-on-4-manship in crunch time is really questionable. It really is when he's surrounded by shooters or guys that are on rolls. Like, a couple of days ago, who did we play, Vince? And Lonzo was 4 from 6 from 3.
Knicks.
It was the Knicks, right, at home.
Yeah.
And you've got Caldwell Pope on the floor. You've got Josh Hart on the floor, and you're running in and just fumbling or getting stripped or getting hit, and you're surrounded by shooters and you're not creating. And, Bolton's been playing at point guard for some stretches, or certainly over the last 2 seasons, experimenting with him holding the rock. And just really, I don't know, not like baller instinct. It's just weird, or just certainly not team baller instinct. And I worry, and I mentioned it in a couple of forums, that I just don't know if he's got that thing that those elite players have, those top 20 players have in the league. It's just that thing that they have. I see it in Kuzma. I see it in Ball. I don't see it in Ingram.
I don't mind Brandon.
I saw it in Randall too. Sorry to bring him up.
Oh, man, that hurts.
Yeah, we can say
where do I start?
Speaking is good.
I don't mind Ingram going 5 for 16 if you're busting your ass on the other end. Too many times. I know he's a slender kid, and I know he's still learning the game, and I know a lot of this group is still learning how to win. I get all that. But there is no excuse for not running back hard on D. There was one play where I turned it off for 5 minutes because he just didn't run back, and Okogie gets a nice baseline 3 wide open, and Ingram you see him just waltzing down.
Yeah, I saw that play.
It's like LeBron's out, Rondo's out, our 2 leaders. Kuzma's out, another leader. You need to play hard. You need to show the way. I just don't understand the mindset. And people blaming Luke Walton, there's a ton of Luke Walton blame on Twitter.
Really?
do you really think Luke Walton's not trying to get this guy going? Like, do you really think Luke Walton's saying, hey, listen, mate, you just go out and start off slow, start off like you're stoned?
It's hard with Ingram because he's got that sleepy demeanour, you know what I mean?
He does.
He reminds me of Tim Thomas like that. It's just like...
Another thing he does, he holds the ball gets to Ingram, the ball stops.
Yeah.
Well, that is not his system. He wants it moving. And a perfect play today, I nearly threw my phone because he just doesn't learn from his mistakes. All he had to do, he drew the defender. Beasley rolls. And Beasley's like waiting for the ball, like, I can score here. And he passes it over to Beasley, but over the outstretched defender's hand 3 seconds too late, and they steal it. And that's when he didn't run back.
He has that on a lot of plays, that time delay where you're like, pass it. And he holds, waits, pivots, waits. By the time he's passed it, the defense has covered the hole and the gap doesn't exist anymore. And what could have been an easy pass and a quick bucket turns into something hard. And I just don't, his decision-making just isn't fluid. It reminds me of, and I've seen it in quite a few forums, it comes up a lot lately, he's like in a lot of instances, he's like a 6'9" D'Angelo Russell in that he has these flashes of brilliance, but then he has this, particularly in fourth quarters, where he just holds the ball for way too long and he's almost spatially unaware of what he should be doing in the system. And as you said, Vince, that's not Luke Walton's game at all.
No. And I really actually feared for Luke Walton after the game. I'm like, Magic's going to lose it. Like, but thankfully, Kobe Bryant came out on Twitter and had a go at a fan saying, just calm the hell down. We're missing a whole bunch of guys and they're playing really well before the injuries.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's right, but he's still, Jesus, Barndon Ingram. Like, if Julius Randle was there, plug him in at power forward with Kuzma out, and he's dropping 20 and 10 tonight or today.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I just don't understand how we let him go, but it was frustrating as hell. And look, I hang so much shit on KCP, but he busted his ass today.
He has been, honestly, he's been, for my money, he's been my most impressive Laker in this stretch of LeBronlessness. He has been busting his ass.
Walton gave him the green light like 3 games ago, It's obviously done something. It's obviously given him that confidence boost that he needed.
Yeah. I just don't want to see people coming out asking for Walton's head, because if you think the coach is the problem, it's not. And he's, a lot of them are like, he's surrounded by yes men. It's like, all these people are in the inner sanctum. There's a lot of people on Twitter in the inner sanctum, apparently. Fire out.
I said it a few weeks ago, I don't even remember, but do you think it's gotten to this stage now where it's, there is a mentality in LA to win now? Do you know what I mean? And obviously the caliber of players you guys now have, obviously adding LeBron and said pieces around him, do you think it's a matter of Ingram gets moved just because he's not there yet? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that he he's not going to work out to be a good player in the long run, but you don't need that long-term investment because there's no payoff for you right now, and you need that now payoff a little bit.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think, and I'll put myself here in it as well. When we signed LeBron, I thought, he's going to really help Ingram out. Like, Ingram's going to blossom a bit quicker than we hoped. Like, it's just going to happen quicker for him, and it just hasn't. I think that's hurt him as well. But like Benson said, I agree with Benson. And I've backed Ingram a lot. But like Benson said, I'm starting to waver. I don't think he's got that gene where he just comes out and wants to kill people every night like Kobe had. And Kuzma's got it. Kuz has got it in spades. Like he wants 100%. The ball. He makes good decisions, but BI, oh wow.
And I've been surprised watching New Orleans Pelicans games this season at Randall. Yeah. I wasn't even sure that Randall had it sometimes, but man, he has been going at some players, jawing at them afterwards and talking all the way up the court.
He is such a beast. I love that kid.
He's a freak. He's a bully. He's such a bully. I love watching him.
Yeah, he's an absolute bull in a china shop. Speaking of the Pelicans, I do think that this whole shared management, this whole AD thing, I have the same feeling about AD coming to LA as I do about LeBron. I just think it's a done deal. But we are in a semi-win now. I don't think we'll win now this season, but I think we'll win now next season. I think we're going to hang on to him because we're going to need, or unless we get a third team involved, we're going to need to trade for AD.
All right, fuck. Do we want to talk about the Kevin Durant fucking hiatus, the travel? Oh, my goodness.
What happened? I didn't even know. What happened? What did he do?
He took a fucking day trip, fucking left of the baseline, went into the locker room.
You don't know.
Went to the locker room, made himself a fucking coffee or fucking lie down and stretch, got re-strapped and then jumped back on the call and they didn't call it out.
Yeah, no. It's all good.
He had a Milo and a Vegemite sandwich.
I tell you, that shit makes me...
I can't hack it, man.
I don't know. It's like,
I can't.
How do you miss that?
And
then it makes me think maybe the NBA, and they just want to lose fans. You know, like, you're trying to piss fans off. Like,
I mean,
that's fucked.
Honestly,
it is hands down the worst non-call in the history of the game. There is nothing close. That was blatant fuckery. That was ridiculous.
The other thing I can think that comes close to that is Tim Duncan getting ejected sitting on the bench in street clothes.
Oh, okay.
That's the part. That's the level we're talking, right? But this is like, as far as like in actual fucking game, it's the worst. And then you watch the replay and you look where the ref is and he's on the baseline.
There's two of them. There's one on that sideline and there's one on that baseline. Like, if you apply Pythagoras' theorem, there is no way.
They had it covered 2 times. Oh, shit.
It's yeah.
I mean,
as funny as it is, it's bloody annoying.
It is, but I'll tell you what, when Curry hit that shot, I was filthy that it was going to have to put the Rockets, who'd fought back into that game. I was honestly, I didn't give a shit. I don't have a dog in that fight. I didn't care who won that game, but I didn't want the Warriors to win off an absolute bullshit, ludicrous call like that. And then Harden comes out and hits that shot.
I mean, the basketball gods punished him.
Hell yeah.
100%. But this is the thing, right? Because I'm glad it was against Houston a little bit too, because the thing that's been annoying me and infuriates me as a fan is the shit that Harden's getting away with, like game in, game out. I don't know if you guys caught, or you watched the Warriors Sacramento game.
Yeah.
And Steph's attempt at the James Harden step back and he gets called for travel and then he pulls up with a 13 on his chest. He's like, but you know, and Steve Kerr's on the sideline yelling at the refs like, now you fucking call it? Now you fucking call it? Like, but honestly, like I just feel it's shit. I don't know whose dick Harden's sucking to get away with all these fucking calls. I'm sorry, but it's a fucking tarnish on the game. Like, it's 100% a tarnish. All these records are getting broken because these players just getting handed it, man. Like, and I fucking like Harden, like I really do, but I suppose it's one of those things, right? It's like you're just gonna keep doing it if you're getting away with it. But that's what makes me angry. It's like why can't the officiating pull him up on this shit?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're clearly getting scrutinised. They're clearly watching tape. They're clearly looking out for these things. You cannot reach in near the guy. He's so, in terms of knowing the rules and knowing what is going to constitute a foul, I don't think I've seen an NBA player who knows how to work the rule book like him before. Not only his offensive weaponry, which is honestly, it's all time. The shots that he's getting at the rate that he's getting. Talk about volume shooter. I mean, really. I mean, there'd probably been a handful like him. But he's obviously a very smart guy. If a guy breathes near him, he knows how to get his arms down, how to whip his hands around. You know, other players are tuning into it as well, and they're learning. But he's ahead of the curve, man. And look, rules are rule, and if he's getting these calls within the rules, then with the exception of the travels and the step backs, more power to him. It's It's making them.
No, not more power
making Chris
to him.
Paul look a bit expendable.
Not more power to him. No, it's shit, man. The league. I'm ashamed of the league, man, for letting him get away with this stuff. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think if they're bumping him on threes, if they're hand checking him, or if they're getting their hands in the cookie basket, if the ref's right there watching him.
I cannot wait for the next Team USA Olympic game, World game with Harden playing, man, because they're going to call him every single time. Change the international rules, NBA. Change the international rules. Fuck it.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, they got our Lakers at home a couple of games ago, and I was screaming at my television like at Josh Hart and Lonzo Ball to get their hands out. They kept he just knows the rules. He knows what the refs are looking for. I can't begrudge him for that.
Trash. It's trash.
Here it comes.
Sorry, it's trash.
Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes.